Good evening, everyone. I'm Russ Fritz. Nathan is off tonight, and right now we'll start switching grooves. Welcome back, race fans. Just some updates on the dirt side. Oh man, it's been quite a week. Silly season. It just never ends, and oh man, just all kinds of rainouts. Like nothing, nothing. Not a whole lot going on. The World of Outlaws are at I-55 tonight, tomorrow. They actually should be racing right now. So hopefully I can get this done pretty quick and go catch the rest of it. So I guess we'll just go ahead and actually get started. So, oh man, the Sprint Car World's silly season actually took a dramatic turn as Shark Racing officially named Cale Thomas as the new driver of their iconic 1A machine. The announcement came after weeks of intense speculation, with the team originally planning to debut their new combination at Federated Auto Parts Raceway I-55 tonight, until the racing gods intervened with a hauler malfunction. So, didn't happen. It's a fitting reminder that in motorsports, even the most carefully laid out plans can go sideways before the green flag even flies. Inside Shark Racing's driver search, this selection process actually played out like a high speed drama, with three of Sprint Car Racing's brightest young stars emerging as finalists. Tanner Holmes, the rising West Coast and YouTube sensation, revealed on his YouTube channel that team patriarch and legendary driver and owner Bobby Allen personally reached out to him about the ride. Getting a call from a legend like Bobby, it meant everything, Holmes shared on his YouTube channel. While his commitment to the Tarleton Motorsports 21 actually made the move impossible, the inquiry alone speaks volumes about Holmes' rapidly growing reputation in the sport. On another side of the equation actually stood Zeb Wise, the 2023 All Star Circuit of Champions titleist, whose continued free agency has become one of the season's biggest mysteries. And multiple sources confirmed that Wise was a serious contender for the seat, leading many to wonder why a driver of his caliber actually still remains without a full-time ride today. Some industry insiders actually suggest Wise may be holding out for a high limit racing opportunity or a World of Outlaws opportunity, while others speculate he's waiting for the perfect situation to emerge. But ultimately, the nod went to Cale Thomas, an Ohio standout whose resume includes a previous All Stars victory and 8 feature wins just last season alone. Thomas represents something of a dark horse choice, not as flashy as some other candidates, but with the consistent results and technical feedback that teams covet. His ability to adapt to different tracks will be crucial as Shark Racing maintains their ambitious national schedule. In another development, um, the Landon Crawley conundrum actually continues and puts his career at a crossroad. So, in another shocking development, Landon Crawley and the Michael Dutcher owned 17GP have actually parted ways after just 14 races together. The split actually marks another twist in the young Arkansas driver's turbulent career trajectory. After spending 2024 running full time with the World of Outlaws in the Sides Motorsports number 7S, Landon moved over to the Dutcher number 17 GP for 2025. But Crawley's 2025 campaign never actually found its footing. In 9 World of Outlaws appearances, the team managed just 3 A main starts with a best finish of 21st position, sorry. Their high limit efforts at Central Arizona yielded similarly disappointing results, And only in Power Eye competition did they show flashes of promise, including a ninth place run at South Texas Race Ranch. But now Crawley gets a lifeline with Johnny Herrera's 45X team, replacing Jace Park. Herrera, a sprint car legend known for developing young talent, might be the perfect mentor for Crawley at this crucial and critical juncture. Their debut tonight at Pevely could mark the beginning of Crawley's career rehabilitation, or another chapter in what's becoming a cautionary tale about the challenges facing young drivers in today's ultra-competitive landscape of sprint car racing. Now, on to the great scheduling debate. Protecting investments or just stifling the competition? The All-Star Circuit of Champions controversial participation rules ignited fresh debate this week, though Mother Nature actually rendered the discussion temporarily moot with the cancellation of events at Attica and Millstream due to saturated grounds. But at the heart of the issue lies a fundamental tension in modern dirt track racing. Series promoter Rich Farmer articulated the dilemma perfectly. When a track invests $50,000 in a purse and sanction fees, then sees the stars race for $5,000 the next town over, what exactly did they pay for? Fair point. The policy, which restricts drivers from competing within 150 miles of all-star events 24 hours before and 24 hours after, mirrors similar rules in place by the World of Outlaws. While unpopular with some fans, these measurements actually stand to protect substantial investments made by promoters and series organizers. The counter argument actually comes from upstart series like Heinemann Racing and also fans that want to see the nation's top tier drivers at no extra cost to them. But series like Heinemann Racing, which has made driver freedom a key part of their value proposition, their approach has forced traditional powerhouses to reconsider long-standing policies, creating an intriguing philosophical divide in the sport of 410 sprint car racing. Very, very controversial there. What is one supposed to do? I mean, not sure. But the argument is, in my opinion, I'm pausing on my notes here for a minute. The argument is, okay, yeah, you're being selfish by not letting these guys go race other places. But the restriction does not apply to any all-star off weekends. They are free to race wherever they would like when they're not scheduled to race an all-star weekend, whether that be a one-night show or a two-night show. Farmer reiterated that point in an interview with the Chaz just a night or two ago, and he also has stated that they can ask for permission and it may be granted for them to go race other places. So it's not a, here it is, too bad, so sad, you can't race anywhere else except for us, and that's it. There are certain circumstances where they can go race elsewhere. And Rich actually stated that point in the interview that I saw with him and the Chaz, that, like he said, they can go race other places on off weekends because they do have sponsorship fulfillments to continue doing all year long. And, he wants them to be able to do that. But he also wants to protect what he has invested into the All-Star Circuit of Champions, as well as the tracks. I mean, this track at this place just paid me, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to bring the All-Stars to their track. and last night or tomorrow night, track, a half hour down the road, didn't pay them nothing, and they're still going to go race there. So, um, as a fan, I understand the frustration, but as a former track promoter and series promoter, I also understand the point in which these series actually implement these rules. And you have to protect what you've invested in. So, honestly, I didn't look at it that way for forever. I actually sat down with a former All Star driver from years past, and his son actually now races locally at Fremont Speedway. But former driver Bruce Robinault, I spoke with him actually at work the other day on a break, and he helped me understand that too. Like, because I was on the fence about it, I didn't know how to feel about it, and I didn't know how to put this show together and what to say. So he actually helped me put it into context, and it's a very valid point on the restrictions being in place. So I mean, it is what it is, and you have to do what you have to do to protect what's yours. If not, we're not going to have a series. You have to protect its livelihood. So hats off to Rich for softening, as he said, he softened it a little bit. So hats off to him for softening that rule, but also protecting his investment. And speaking of Fremont Speedway and Rich Farmer, there's a new streaming revolution at Fremont Speedway. So we'll get back at it and wrap it up here quickly. So, in an era where streaming rights often dictate a track's visibility, Fremont Speedway has actually taken control of its own digital destiny, with owners Rich and Shelley Farmer launching Rev Limit TV through Speed Sport TV. The historic Ohio Oval has charted an independent course that could become a model for other racetracks. So Rev Limit TV is a channel of which Rich and Shelley created, streaming their events through the Speed Sport TV platform. So to access Rev Limit TV and the streaming of that, you can download Speed Sport, the Speed Sport TV app through your phone, smart device, or your TV, and then find Rev Limit, the Rev Limit channel for all of Fremont Speedway's weekly events, except for any All-Star Circuit of Champions events, high limit events, or USAC events, which will still be streamed on Flow. But as for Fremont's weekly regular events and the AFCS events, I'm sorry, those will actually be streamed on Rev Limit TV through Speed Sport. So just to reiterate how you can actually get that on your TV. I know a lot of people have been asking. It's not very clear. Download Speed Sport TV on your television, and then find the Rev Limit TV channel, and that'll be Fremont Speedway. It is right now strictly a pay-per-view, and the cost is $20 per race, which is the cost of a general admission ticket. So I know people are complaining about it, and we understand that as fans, but also from the side of a streamer, again, it goes back to protecting your investment. So Farmer has said in some comments on Facebook that in the future there could be a possibility for a package deal for the season, or or whatnot. But right now, as it stands, it is strictly pay-per-view, and it's $20 a race. The best way to support Fremont Speedway: show up and buy a ticket. Go to the track. Be there, because it's not going to cost you any more. But if you do want to cushion the blow a little bit, grab a friend or two or more, and everybody chip in a little bit, and it doesn't cost you as much. So you can always go that route too. Have a little watch party. So that's about all I can say there. So, but the move actually represents more than just a platform change. It's actually a statement about track autonomy in an increasingly consolidated media landscape. And like I said before, while major events will still appear on Flow Racing, Fremont's weekly shows now have a dedicated home where every dollar spent by subscribers flows directly back to the racetrack. So, what did I want to say here? I had it in my head a second ago and I lost it. But, I mean, Rich and Shelley, they could have literally just said, screw the fans and just leave them in the dust. Either you come to the racetrack or you're not going to be able to see any racing. Too bad, so sad. But they didn't do that. They actually teamed up with Speed Sport. They put a production team together, hired the crew they needed to run everything, and started their own channel. So while the cost may not be what everybody wants, I commend Rich and his team, especially he and his wife, for taking on this task and not leaving all of us fans that can't get to the racetrack every single week out in the wind and not being able to see anything. So thank you, Rich. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you to your team for actually thinking of everyone rather than just certain people. We appreciate that. The big picture, this week's developments actually underscore the constant evolution of sprint car racing. And from driver musical chairs to media innovations and scheduling philosophies, the sport continues to navigate the delicate balance between tradition and progress. As teams and series adapt to changing economics and fan expectations, one truth actually remains. The only guarantee in racing is that tomorrow will bring new challenges and new opportunities. So where does this leave us? Well, 3 big takeaways. Shark Racing's gamble on Cale Thomas could reshape the team's entire future. The scheduling debate isn't going away anytime soon, and Fremont's streaming move might just start a revolution among other tracks. So, hey, you never know. I mean, it could. Other tracks might start following their lead. And, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Well, I'll leave that up for each of you to decide on your own behalf. But to quote Albert Einstein, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity, which is exactly what this week was all about. So, what's your take on this week's moves? Which storyline has you the most intrigued? Sound off below and let's keep the conversation going. And from dirt track slide jobs to Daytona duels, never miss a lap. Subscribe now for all of our latest sprint car and NASCAR news, highlights, and breakdowns of all the high-speed action. And until next time, I'm Russ Fritz saying race hard, stay safe, and we'll see you there.